Here is the sewing tutorial of the previous video. In that video, we drafted the patterns and transferred to the fabric, and I promised to come with the sewing. So if you're yet to see that particular video, please do well to see that before this one because it would make more sense to you that way. Now let's get to it. So these are the pieces I have after transferring the patterns to the fabric and interfacing. I now have two pieces for the center front because I'm using same fabric as the lining, and one layer of paper stay on all of them, both the fashion fabric and lining. Then I infused the wording from the under bust up and 1 inch just before the neckline, both on the center front and the side, just like this. The next thing now is to just go ahead and start joining, and I'm going to be matching it up under bust to the under bust. I'll pin it down and go ahead and join it, just as you can see my hand moving. I'll join with my added ½ inch stitching allowance. Then I'll come to this other side and pin it down on the under bust and go ahead and also join it with ½ inch all the way to the top. Then repeat the same thing with the lining. Place the side front on the center front this way, pin it down on the under bust, then go ahead and join, and then place this other one, pin it down, then join it with ½ inch from down to the top. I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the back pieces, using my pattern as a guide to know how to place this. So I'm going to place the center front and then place on the sides on where I'm supposed to place them, pin it down, and then go ahead and repeat the same thing on the lining. Just place it like you see me doing it here, and it's advisable that you pin so that it will be easy for you to sew. So I'm going to sew all of this. Then after doing that, this is what I have. Next I'll be doing now is to go ahead and notch, as you can see me do it here on all these parts that you can see here. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the lining of the front part, notch on the under bust, and then on this curvy part. Then coming to the fashion fabric itself, I'm going to be notching on the under bust, which I already have a notch there, yeah, but I'll notch very close to my stitch line. Then the next thing I'll be doing now is to take out the wording on this stitching allowance. The stitch you have there will just stop you from taking it out all out. I don't know if you understand, but you're just taking it out on the allowance. And because of the kind of fabric I'm using and the kind of interface, yeah, it's taking both the paper stay out. Depending on the kind of interface that you use, you're likely just to take out the wording. That's what I usually do, but this one is taking out both the paper stay. You don't even need that. We're trying to make that part flat and as smooth as possible. Then after taking it out on both sides like this, you're going to be cutting off this excess here. The one that you just take out, just cut very close to your stitch line. Please be careful while doing this because I had to cut my fabric because I wasn't careful, and this was the first time it happened. But yeah, be very careful. You're not cutting out the fabric, that, yeah, that's like the allowance, yeah, just the wording. Then after that, you go ahead and press open the seam lines using your bust arm on the bust area. And right after I was done doing that, these are the pieces. I now have 4 pieces of the back and then 2 pieces for the front. Then what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and trim off all this excess I have here. I'll take my time and trim it out nicely, both on the lining and then the fashion fabric. And of course, you can see the white stuff on the joining allowance. I use cotton A stay to lay flat that allowance for as long as you iron this. Once you keep ironing it, it's going to lay flat like that and make it appear neater. I did the same thing on both fashion fabric and the lining for the front part. Then for the back, I only did that with the fashion fabric itself. Then after that, I folded this like this to trim out just to make them equal on both sides. And then now I'm going to be bringing in the skirt pattern just like this. I'll place it like this, then place the top part on it this way. You're not overlapping it on the side. It's going to just meet each other on the side. Then on the center, it's going to just, once you place it like you see me doing it here, it's going to look like you just have a gown. Then I'm going to be using my chalk to trace out the waistline just like this. After that, I'm going to be cutting it out like you see me doing it here, and I'm cutting it ½ inch above the tracing. You see that I even did 0.75 because this thing will expand. We didn't structure this skirt part like we did on the top part, yeah, so you just cut it about ½ inch or even 0.75 like I did. Then after that, I'll place it on the lining, then cut it out like this and bring in the back skirt this way. Here I have both the fashion fabric and the lining, yeah. I'll be coming down here by 1 inch and take it to the side just like this. Once I'm done, I'm going to be cutting it out, and this is just to eliminate any excess that is likely to occur there. And after that, I'll be coming in here 1/2 inch. Remember I said while cutting this that we are supposed to contour the center back like we did for the front part, yeah? So I'm doing that now because fortunately I have enough allowance to help me do that. So 1/2 inch here, and then I'll be going down here to the hip line and take it from that 1/2 inch to the hip line just to contour the center back. This way the center back lays flat after you're done. Then after doing that, after blending it into the hip line, I'll cut it out and notch immediately to indicate that this is the center back so that I don't misuse that as the side. Then I'm going to take my waist measurement again divided by 4. The allowance I have there will cover up for the zipper allowance and the side seam allowance. So now I'm going to be placing it like this, right side to the right side. This is the center back going to the center back, and I'll place the top part on it this way, making sure that the center back of the top part is going towards the center back of the skirt. I'll pin it down just like this and then go ahead and join it on the waistline. I'll repeat the same thing on the lining. Place it right side to the right side here. The lining doesn't have the right side, that's the skirt, yeah, but I'm going to just place it like this, making sure that the center back of the skirt, that they are just facing each other. Don't know if you get that, but join this nicely. Then coming to the front part, I'm going to just place it like this, midpoint to the midpoint. I'll pin it down, then go ahead and join it just like this. So at this point, I would advise that you use your pin. Just as you guide it, you pin it down, and then you're going to start joining from here, from the side. Just place it nicely like this so that after you're done, you're not going to have any leftover there. And then you're going to join it with your 1/2 inch just all around, just this way to the other side. Repeat the same thing with the lining. Then after doing that and ironing it, this is how neat it's coming out. Next I'll be doing now is to just go ahead and place the lining on it. Already prepped the lining too. You can see how I pressed open the seam lines on the waistline on both the fashion fabric and the lining. Now I'm going to place the lining right side to the right side, then go ahead and sew the neckline first and top stitch. Then I'm going to arrange the down part and sew it, just close the down part, yeah. And then after that, I'm going to now arrange the side, match them up on the armhole and sew it all the way down. And right after doing that, this is what I have. I've sewn the neckline and top stitch, and I've sewn the down part, and I also close the side. Then you have to give a space for you to turn it out. Just sew to somewhere like this. You back stitch, then you leave a space just enough for the bust area to pass through, yeah. Then you back stitch again and take it all down. That's exactly what I did both on the front and the back. The next thing now is to just go ahead and trim off all this vital part. That's like where we have 4 corner. You trim it so that it will lay flat after turning it to the right side, both on the front and the back. And right after doing that, I'm now going to turn it to the right side. This is the back, yeah. Just the same method. Follow that same space that you left to turn it out, to turn it all the way to the right side, and then you're going to iron it smoothly, both the fashion fabric and the lining. Then while ironing this part, you just take your ironing straight so that you iron that opening part. Then after ironing, you're going to use your hemming gum to close it, or you just stitch on it. That's basically it. So after doing that, I pinned them down on these sides, and then I did my measurement, just the final measurement. Now I'm going to be closing it like I marked it there, and use your pin please because of the waistline so that they will align. After closing and ironing it, this is what I have, and it's just coming out as neat as we want it. Now why joining this part, that's why I say you should make use of your pin. Join it in a way that it will just look like it's painted, like there's no joining there, in the sense that they are just matching up, they are just aligning both on the armhole part and on that waistline part. It should just look parallel. Is that the right word to use? Then I still have the center back open, which I'll be closing later after doing the cape. But then I pressed open the seam lines, as you can see it here, both on this side and on this center back here. Now the next thing we'll be doing now is to work on the cape. And for the cape, I have these materials ready. I have about 14 and a half of this, and it's on fold. So I cut out about 15 inches, and for yours to sit just on your elbow, you just have to make use of this 15 or 16. But yeah, anything from 12 inches to 16 would do it because of that pleat, yeah, that fold. So here I have 14 and a half. I said I cut out about 15 and I used the other half inch to join. And after joining, I pressed open the seam lines and I ironed it in a way that it's now in the middle, so that after working with it, it's going to be hidden. This join is going to be hidden. You just iron it to be like mine, and after doing it on the side, you're going to also fold it into three equal halves and iron it to create this crease line because you'll be needing that. So in essence, we're going to be having the person round shoulder measurement by 12 to 15 inches, depending on the length that you're working with. So the what you measured around the person's elbow or what you measured on the pattern, I explained all of that in the cutting video. You're going to have that by 12 to 15. Then you're going to also need this rope. And this rope is not supposed to be more than half inch wide. Mine is about 0.75, but I won't even recommend that. It's supposed to look like a neck piece. Yeah, a necklace on your neck and not too wide. So I'll place this like this, and then from the under bust, I'll be coming up 1 inch, just like this. You can decide to maintain your under bust, but yeah, I choose to just come up half inch. Then I'm going to be bringing in this piece. The crease line, like I said, will indicate the midpoint, so I'm going to match it up like this and pin it down. Then I'll start pleating. Depending on the size of the length of your fabric also depends on the size of pleat that you'll be doing at this point. But I'm doing about 2 inches, so that's like I fold 2 inches and I place it like this. Then I fold again. You can also decide to just do a box pleat, or you do just the regular pleats. You can also decide to like gather it, but what you basically be doing here is just pleat and pin, fold and pin, and you're going to make sure that it stops just on that marking that you have 1 inch above the under bust. So you're going to do that. After that, you're going to have something like this, and then you go ahead and just stitch it down, just following the crease line or the midpoint of the neckline. So after doing that, this is what I have. And I was supposed to like do this in a way that the first pleat won't be overlapping just the first placement, yeah. So it's going to be like this now, like overlapping it, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to like loosen it and do it again. But yeah, that's about that. You can decide to ignore it if you do yours and you see that it's just all right, or better still, watch this video before trying yours so that yeah, you will know what I did. So the first placement now is coming with a fold. I'll pin it down and then I'll just go ahead and stitch it down. You see that I'm not losing this all the way to the down, yeah, just about the all the way to the first pleat, and now it's going to be like this on the neckline, which is just how it's supposed to be. Now I'm coming to the center back. I'm going to be coming in here to 3.5. Yeah, I'll be marking 4 inches, but then I'm going to be cutting it in a way that it's 3.5, so that I'll use the other half inch to join. Because this fabric is stretchy, if your fabric is stiff, just use exactly what you measure. You're using your measurement here. This is not complicated, but because of how stretchy this fabric is, I have to take this out so that it will be firm on the person's shoulder. And yeah, I had to fold it into two because I'm doing it on both sides, yeah. And then I'm going to just be cutting it out like you see me do it here. So after that, now I'm going to be placing it here, but first you will have to measure. So first fold and then you pin it down, but we're supposed to measure first before doing this. So you're going to measure what you have from this neckline all the way to where the pleat stops, and mine is about 6 inches. So I'm going to be measuring that too. You're measuring it on the neckline, yeah, from the neckline down on the center back this way, and I'll mark the 6 inches like this, making sure that my pleat stop there. Now I'm going to fold this end and place it there. Then this remaining excess here, I'm going to, you decide to like do the same pleats that we have on the center front, or you add soft pleats, or you gather it, whichever one you choose to do. But yeah, you're going to just pin it down, whichever one you're doing, and go ahead and stitch it down. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other center back. I'll first measure down to the 6 inches, then I'll first fold and place it on the top of the neckline, just like this, pin it down. Then I'm going to fold this other end and place it on the 6 inches, pin it down. Then I'm going to distribute this excess I have here, just the right amount, until I get to, yeah, until I exhaust it, and then I'll go ahead and also stitch it down. just like I said I would on the other side. So after doing that now, I will also go ahead and finish up the center back, which is basically fixing my zipper on this part. And after that, this is what I have. I already fixed the zipper, stitched down the cape and fixed the zipper. And I'm not proud of this zipper. Mm-mm. It is not the right zipper for this kind of material, but that's what I had. And then I also stitched down this part, like I said I would, and this is what it's looking like at this point. Yeah, it's going to drape nicely on the neckline. But if you do it like this and then you need to like tack this part down, that's what the rope will be doing for you, or you just tack it yourself. But all of this depends on when you wear this, if you can, before doing this rope part. Otherwise, just hold it like it's supposed to be on your neckline. Then if there is any excess, this rope will help hold it down. I was supposed to sew the end of this rope here, but since I didn't do that, I'm now folding it and I'm placing it just on the start of the pleat on the underbust here. And then I'm going to be placing it like this and stitch it down on both sides. But because mine is wide, it's about 0.75 like I already said, I would kind of overlap them and then stitch it down just to make it small and not appear big as it's not supposed to be. And after that, I'll go ahead and work on the design on the rope, and this is the best I could come up with. This is what I used to do that, but you're supposed to use your claw stones, I guess, or crystals. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this particular tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you on my next one. Be good. Bye.